Before we begin, a quick shout out and mad respect to the Harlem School District for their assistance in providing gifts and other necessities to local families. These contributions make a huge difference. I've seen it personally, so if you're able to, please support where you can. And may you all have a good holiday season. Good evening, and a very happy holiday season to you all out there. This is Mad Marty from the greater Rockford metro area, and I wanted to do a quick little video just to kind of detail 2020. It's been a rough year for a lot of us for obvious reasons with COVID-19 and the quarantine restrictions, and depending which state you live in, it can make a pretty big impact. A lot of people like to think of 2020 as a downer, but in order to kind of put a positive spin on things and to give everybody a little bit more energy, I'd like to present a short list of 5 things that were good as a result of COVID-19. This list isn't exactly anything in particular order of importance or anything like that. These are just some general thoughts, and everybody's situation is a little bit different. But with that being said, let's get started. The first thing I'd like to bring up is you tend to appreciate time with friends and family. I'll use that as the number one, and that's for obvious reasons. You know, back in, a year ago, we took for granted all the time that we spent with friends, family, and relatives like it was just going to happen. Now, depending on how stringent our friends or family are being, we haven't had, the get-togethers or going out to restaurants or, in my case, hitting the casino. So it's a little bit of a bummer, but on the plus side, I've still been able to do a lot of D&D through Skyping and various other activities. I know that online video game play is up, but so we take our victories where we can get them, but I like to think of that as a good number one, appreciating the time that you have with friends and family. And the second thing I'd like to bring up is improved delivery service. This is actually a big one for me. Walking through a big grocery store, whether it be Walmart, Meijer, or some of the other local chains, historically a little bit of a challenge for me. And one nice thing as a result of COVID-19, a lot of places have taken more advantage of delivery services. And including the grocery stores, that's a big one for me. I don't know if any of you guys have used that out there. It can be a little inconvenient at times, but it works. And what I mean by inconvenience is when you put in an order for an item and the store doesn't have it, then they ask you for a substitute. The other night, I probably had 9-10 substitutes on that list. But again, it still saves me time, still saves me money, still saves me energy. I just gotta be a little careful though, to make sure I'm not turning in a Jabba the Hutt. The next thing I want to bring up is a positive thing that has come from COVID-19 is catching up on TV series. Hear me out here. There are some positive side effects to catching up on your latest show, whether it be The Mandalorian, Better Call Saul, Cobra Kai, depending on who you are. But one of the nice positive side effects is if you catch up on your series, then you're done with that sooner, and guess what? You have time for another hobby or activity or something else that you need to get done. And in this respect, home improvement is getting done. So, positive side effect. The next big one I'd like to bring up is no commuting, at least for, me and several other people I know. If you're in a city or town where you have to do any kind of substantial commute of, say, 30 minutes or more, some people commute up to 2 hours. Being able to work from home, the expansion of that has been a godsend for many. I mean, think about it. If you have commuting expenses of between tolls and gas, you are saving thousands of dollars over the course of months. And this is something that is, obviously it speaks for itself. But one thing that a lot of people might not consider is the amount of time that is saved also. Think about it. If you have an hour and a half commute one way or the other, that is 3 hours that you don't have to spend in the car anymore. and you can do more important things, spend time with kids, the wife, the husband, or just getting stuff done. Then going back to home improvement projects getting done. So if you have the capability to be blessed with working from home, definitely a plus side from COVID-19. And then finally, the biggest thing that I want to kind of bring up is employers take illness in the workplace far more seriously. And I can definitely agree to that. In years past, you come down with cold, you're expected to go to work. And it got to be, you show up to work, and only if you had a fever should you really consider not being there. But now we're in a day and age where your employer might say, hey Marty, we don't want you here, go home. And if we have the capability to work from home again, why not? So it's a real huge thing to be able to send employees home or keep them home. Number one, it's better for them and they can recover, but it also prevents them from contaminating everybody else. And I admit, 10 years ago, I was really bad about that. I used to have some pretty big beef with attendance policies back in the day, and I'd show up to work ill. My employer, my bosses would say, Marty, what are you doing? Well, I'm showing up. And if you don't like it, change the attendance policy. That's just one thing that I used to kind of shove back in their face back in the day. But again, with COVID-19, everybody takes illness in the workplace more seriously. And not everybody has the benefit to work from home. So if you don't, and if you're such a worker out there, thank you for fighting the good fight, and we definitely appreciate it. And if you are one of those lucky individuals that can work from home, I'm just going to say this out there. And some of you out there know who you are. If you're hired to do an 8-hour a day job, put in your 8 hours. There's no excuse otherwise. I'm not trying to rain on your parade, but some of us are busting our rears out there. Please do your part and don't make the system look bad. Anyways, with that being said, I just wanted again to point out some positive things that have come from COVID-19. I like to think that some of these things may have a positive long-term impact on our society and may change some of the things that we do in our day-to-day lives for the better. But in the meantime, I wish you all a good holiday season, a very healthy and safe holiday season. Keep on fighting the good fight. And this is Mad Marty reminding you to do what's responsible, avoid what's irresponsible, make the most of what you got, and get respect. Mad respect. See you next time.